This guitar continues to impress. And this week, it's time for a second look. Stick around. About 3 weeks ago, I reviewed this Fender Vintera II '60s Stratocaster, just as it came out of the box. And if you missed the original review, well, I'll leave a link in the description, and you may want to watch that first. Now, from the factory, there was too much relief in the neck, even for the 9-gauge strings it came with. Since raising the action a little had it playing well enough to do the initial review and demo, and since adjusting the rod on these vintage-style necks requires neck removal, I opted to go ahead with the demo, with the intention of doing part 2 after installing my preferred 10 through 46 strings and doing a proper setup. Now, while not a real big deal, it can be slightly tedious to remove the neck, adjust the rod, put it back on, check the relief, and do this as many times as it takes. But if you have a little experience, you probably won't have to do it more than twice. And that's exactly how many times it took for me to get it perfect. I like between 5 and 7 thousandths of an inch of relief, which I measure with feeler gauges. Now, this is not a setup tutorial, so if you'd like to know how to do all this, there are many YouTube videos detailing the process. Anyway, once the relief was correct, I moved on to adjusting the tremolo by tightening the claw until the bridge is sitting exactly where I wanted it. Now, the standard recommended height leaves a gap of about 1/8 of an inch at the back, but it's really personal preference, and I don't need it quite that high. I won't be doing any Jeff Beck whammy melody lines. So I set it just over 2.2 millimeters, and it has more than enough range. Now next I checked the action, which, after all the other adjustments, was nearly perfect. Actually a little too perfect on the treble side. I expected to have to raise it a bit to get clean bends, since this is, after all, a 7.25-inch radius. But I'm happy to report that with the correct amount of relief, bends are clean everywhere on the neck, right at my preferred action of 1.5 millimeters treble and 1.75 bass. So for those of you who thought you can't get both nice action and clean bends with a 7 1/4-inch radius, well, check this out. So as you can see, the 7.25-inch radius won't hamper bending, even with comfortably low action, so long as the fretwork is right. And the factory fretwork on this Made in Mexico model is unusually nice. I mean, I sincerely hope they're all like this. And if they are, I think it'd be hard to make a case for spending twice the price on the USA version. So in conclusion, this guitar felt pretty good right out of the box. But I have to say, with my preferred strings and a proper setup, it's really impressive. The finish is perfect, the neck pocket is tight, and this slab rosewood fretboard is among the nicest I've seen. Now, you do have to be comfortable with the fairly slim 60s neck. And to be completely honest, if I were keeping this guitar, I'd load it up with my favorite Lindy Fralin pickups, or something similar. Now, this is not to say the stock pickups are bad at all. They're more than decent. But I feel this guitar is good enough. It deserves to be taken to the next level, and some really fine pickups would get it all the way there. As always, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button. And subscribe if you haven't yet. And I will see you again very soon.